Hello guys, this is RAB and welcome back to Raps Beats. We are going to learn a little bit about the software I use for making beats, and it is called FL Studio. In the previous video, I had people telling me that I should do a little bit introduction on the software, so yeah, let's go. When you open FL Studio, this is the interface you are met with, or this is the interface you are given. It gives you a channel rack. The channel rack is where you arrange your beat in patterns, and FL Studio gives you these four, should I say presets? Yeah. It gives you these four drums to start with. FL Studio gives these four drums to start with. You can change them or replace them from here. So if you don't like them and you want other drums apart from these ones, you can come here, select, and when you click on each drum, it plays for you to, it gives you a preview of how the drum sounds. So you can drag and then replace with what is already there. So yeah, we have replaced our kick, sorry. Let's select a snare. Let's replace our snare. The clap can stay, the hi-hat too can stay. So yeah, before you start making any beats, you need to set your tempo. And this is where we set our tempo. This number here is what you use to set the tempo. And then to hear the speed of each tempo, you use the metronome. When you select the metronome and you press the space bar, you hear how each tempo sounds, or you get the speed of each tempo. Yeah. So we use a metronome to listen to how each tempo is. On default, the tempo is set to 130, and you can either reduce or increase it. You can either reduce or increase it when you click and then you drag it up or down. Let's set it to 120. And let's see. So on the channel rack, you are going to arrange each beat or each drum based on how you want it to sound. And these buttons are what we use to arrange them. Use the left click to select and then use right click to delete. So let's start. Let's arrange something. Well, at some point you can decide to deactivate the metronome if it's too noisy. So And these buttons here, this is for panning. The left one is for panning. Panning is done when you want to hear a sound either at the left or at the right or center of your speakers. On default, it is set to center. When you drag it to the left, you set it to the left, and then when you drag it to the right, you set it to the right. But most of the time, it's at the center. Yeah. And here is where you use to set the volume. If you set it to 100%, then you want to hear the full volume of whatever you're playing. Yeah. So this is how I want my drums to be arranged. And then after, you can decide to add instrument. When you click on this plus button here, it gives you a list of available instruments you can use. And when you install FL Studio for the first time, you are given stock plugins that you can use. My favorite one is a Morphine. When you open Morphine, you are given presets. We have bass presets, brass and wind, which contain pipe instruments, keyboards, leads, strings, percussion, and all. Let's use let's go with the bass. Yeah. So sorry. In order to record something with your keyboard, use this button here called the record button. When you click on the record button, you are asked whether you want to record everything, or if you have a mic, you can use an editor. But here we click on everything. And then before you record, you are given a 3 seconds countdown to get ready. And to record into piano roll, to see what you are recording, you right click on the instrument and you select piano roll, and it jumps you right into the piano roll. If you have already played something before entering piano roll, you would see shadows of what you have played in the instrument you have selected. You can either use Alt plus V to deactivate the shadows, but me, I keep them. So you use the space bar to begin recording, and you're given 3 seconds countdown to get ready. When you are done recording, you have to fix it because it will be really messed up. So you stop your recording and then you press Ctrl plus Q to quantize stuff. And quantizing helps to put things in place after you're done recording, depending on the snap you have selected. The snap grade I've selected is a step, so it makes sure each note is on a step. Yeah. add more instruments by right clicking on the current one and selecting insert, or you can also use the plus button, or you can clone whatever is already there when you right click and you select clone. Let's select something, let's say a different thing. Yeah, for me, before I play anything, I practice. So let's record. Then we deactivate the recorder and we fix it. Sometimes even quantizing can't fix everything, so you need to bring stuff back or stuff forward to fix them. The next shortcut I'm going to talk about is the Control L. It makes sure where the next note begins is where the previous one ends. So Control L. Yeah. And then Alt plus X is used for leveling the velocity of whatever you have played here. Mostly I use the middle. You see, when you press Alt plus X, it gives you this dialog for editing. Let's add a new one. Let's bring in an arpeggio. You can also copy stuff you have played into another one, from an instrument to another instrument, by right clicking on the instrument, selecting copy and pasting it into the new one. Let's clone this one and we'll select another bass. You can also copy stuff from the piano roll into another piano roll. When you select everything in the piano roll and you hold down shift and press on any note, it is copied. And then you can hold control with the arrow down or up, you can shift it to the higher octave or to the lower octave, just like that. Let's do something. Sorry, record. 34. Sorry. Record again. You're going to make many mistakes. Sometimes you can choose to edit or delete everything and then record. Use Ctrl+Z to undo. Quantize and preview. You can choose to stop the sound of an instrument or a drum with this key right here. This is when it's on green, it means it can play, but when it is muted, it is deselected. So let's mute everything and leave the bass, because I want to play something with the bass. So once we are convinced that everything here is okay, we can go ahead and arrange them in our playlist. But no, we need to make sure everything sounds good to our ears before we jump to our playlist. So we are going to talk about the mixer or the mixer board in FL Studio. You select the mixer board with this key right here, and then you bring everything to the mixer board like this. First, make sure nothing is there shouldn't be any number here. No, clear everything. Yeah. So you select the first one and double click on it, and then you come to the mixer board, select the first one, then insert one, hold down Control Shift and then press L, and everything will come here. Just like on the channel rock, use these small light buttons to mute and unmute in the mixer board or on the mixer board. So let's listen to our kick alone. Here is where you add an effect to whatever drum or instrument. So let's edit our kick a little. We select parametric EQ, and then we select the kick preset for our kick. If you want it heavier, you can use frequency splitter and then increase the low end of it and then decrease the mid end. This is the high end, mid end, low end. Let's go to the next. I would want some reverb on the clap, so I'll use this fruity reverb. Let's edit our hat. We would also edit the snare. We would need a reverb. Let's do it. You can use the gross beat to make some things interesting. The parametric EQ is just like the frequency splitter, sorry. But here you cut frequencies out directly. You don't reduce them. You just cut them out. And we use this to make it heavier. Let's go to our main bass. After mixing everything and getting it to sound good in your ears, you can come to the view playlist or the playlist or the track. I call it the track to arrange your track. When you come here, you right click on this button and then you split by channel, and then you can go ahead and bring everything you have played in here. When I bring them here, I copy at least 1 minute is okay. This is the minute the sound position or whatever. So this is too much, come on. So yeah, let's start arranging. Now, when you forget to add something and later you want to add it, you can add one pattern, rename it, and then add your drum or plugin, and then you can play whatever you want to play here.